Yeah.
You have taken the humanity out of everything, right? And you're only seeing sides. This person should die. This person should die. Do you have any idea how psychotic you sound? Like you are absolutely insane. If you are standing on this hill of said person can say something that they deserve to die, then we're all fucked here. Genius Brain listeners, this podcast is brought to you by BetterHelp. You know I love me some BetterHelp, which is why I'm here talking about BetterHelp on this podcast. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. It's convenient too. You can join a session with the therapist at the click of a button, helping you fit therapy into your busy life, plus switch therapists at any time. The convenience is what makes BetterHelp great. And once again, you guys, if you're not focused on your mental health, what are you doing? It is important. You are important. And you should care about yourself too. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Find the one with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/genius. That's betterhelp.com/genius. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Genius Brain podcast. We are back in studio today. We got Ed Park, VP, in the house.
What's up?
We're going to keep this conversation very lighthearted today. Let's talk about Charlie Kirk. Listen, I know this is like a top comment that a lot of people had. You got to talk about this. You got to talk about this. And when we were shooting last time, I shot and I went on a plane back home. And I'm in the air and Ed texts me and I buy the internet so I could, doom scroll.
By the way, we had just filmed the episode you uploaded last week.
Yeah.
And then we couldn't go out to eat. You had to catch a flight. You bounced. And yeah, like I got home and then see that shit.
I see this text and I'm like, when you hear about certain things like this too, you kind of, you have to almost not believe it, right? Because the internet's so crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, and the first thing I thought about when you texted me, I was like, Charlie Kirk? Because I don't know much about Charlie Kirk, right?
Yeah, and even I all I said was Charlie Kirk got shot.
Yeah.
And then you asked if he was okay. And
Yeah.
then I read critical condition at the hospital.
Yeah.
And that, because it just happened.
Yeah.
Like literally, because when I had got home to doom scroll, I scroll up and I don't even scroll up actually. I open Twitter/X and then it's the first video, no context.
Yeah.
Like almost no caption. I don't even, the caption didn't say anything about Charlie getting shot. The video played and it was the close-up one where wham, right there in the neck.
No, that's what I saw too.
Yeah.
I opened it up and I saw that.
It was the first thing.
And I was on the plane and I immediately wanted to throw up because it's a horrific sight, man. It is one of the most horrific things I've ever seen in my fucking life. And, all this is happening. And the second thought that I had, after I calmed down a little bit, because seeing somebody just die like that is just, it's traumatizing, man.
Yeah.
And all I thought after that was, why Charlie Kirk? Because
yeah, like he has no actual power. He has influence for sure.
Yeah.
He's by the side of the president.
yeah.
He can't actually change laws to the tune of what he wants.
Yeah. So I just was like, Charlie Kirk?
Yeah.
That's like the first thing that I thought after that.
Like America's youth pastor?
Yeah.
What?
I feel like there was a lot more influential, detrimental people that probably people would try to do that to, right? And so I'm like, then the conspiracy hat starts to go on.
Yeah, immediately.
Well,
immediately it was, of course, liberal, communist, Antifa, black, something, right? And it was all up in the air. And in that mass hysteria confusion, there was that dude who was there. Did you actually end up watching that
I
video?
did see it, dude. That guy is a fucking loser, dude.
This is real. It's happening. It's happening. Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Do you have any idea how cooked we are at this point? There is a live assassination that fucking happened. And this guy cognitively switches his brain immediately and he goes, content. He watched somebody get murdered in front of his 2 children and his wife. Everybody's ducking, screaming, trying to get the fuck out of the way. And this fucking sociopath.
If you want to see more content like this, don't forget to like and subscribe.
If you watch my channel, more people get shot in the neck. You know, it's like, are you fucking fucked? That's crazy to me.
Yeah, it's insane.
There are things that happen in my life that, you know, these goofy little stories that I tell, it's like I don't even associate dealing with this weird situation with recording it for content, right? It happens and then I go, that would have been funny if it was recorded.
Right.
Because I'm living and I'm dealing with the situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is some weird shit. And this is obviously another conversation from the stuff that we want to talk about.
Because for you, it's work.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't have time for this right now.
Yeah. Like, this is so crazy. Like, look, I think that there is going through like Facebook and seeing all these comments, right? Number one, I deleted the X app. I can't be
Immediately after.
I'm done with that app.
Because it's a cesspool on all sides. It's
All
the
sides.
most extreme.
I'm done with that whole app, man. Like, and I spoke about this quickly on a YouTube story, right? And I wanted to do a straight YouTube video about it, but I think I would prefer to discuss it with somebody, right? It's just that I have spoken so outwardly and openly about how fucking detrimental social media can be on your mental health. As somebody who works in social media, right?
We've been saying this
so
long,
right? What you feed yourself with on this app will mold how you view the world. Period. End of story.
Yeah.
And I've said this multiple times. As much as people speak about how good habits and habits are formed through repetition or when it's positive, that's the same thing for negativity. And probably tenfold because that
part of your brain
Yeah.
is what lights up when it's negative.
Exactly.
Why in our evolutionary thing with how we came out, this negative intuition that sparks anger is about attention.
Yeah.
You know, for survival. It's been used on us or against us.
And social media has been the perfect weapon for this, right? They weaponize and they farm attention by finding something in the human psyche that creates a lot of clicks, which is hate. Hate. Now, whether it's justified or not, whatever, it doesn't matter. The habit that most people have been forming now is that, okay, hate gets attention. I like attention. Attention equals views. Views means that I'm important. And it keeps doing this over and over and over and over again. And then your worldview becomes this thing of, I am right. Look at all these views and clicks.
Yeah.
That means I'm a good person. I'm right. Oh, wow, more views. Now I have money. Well, if I didn't make money off of this stuff and I don't get these views, then what am I?
Yeah.
You have virtually fucked yourself into a fucking corner, right? And I say that because I read these comments and I'm like, holy crap. You know, most of the time I'm like, it's one or two. So much shit from the far right and the far left. I had no idea how many people have been indoctrinated into this bullshit.
And we got to talk about the left's response. Okay, we'll talk about the far left's response. The shit on Twitter. The stuff that we're talking about here is like, you know, when that kid in Vegas at the smoke shop stabbed that one robber 7 times in the spine, like all that. I don't know what happened to him. I think he got off. We said whatever, right? But we were sitting here in this studio saying that was wrong.
Yeah.
Even if they were like thieves.
Yeah.
You know, they're still like, where's your humanity? Right? And people are calling us fucking libtards and shit. But now, like, the extreme side, like, I see of that was he deserved it. He was asking for it.
Yeah.
He's a karma is a bitch, all these things. It's like, yo, his wife and kids were up front. They saw it happen. Like,
and so this is the other conversation that I wanted to have, right? And I want people to understand that you have to understand the English language first, you fucking idiots. Like when I say, or people say this, they go, this is a sad time for America. You love Charlie Kirk? Hey, what
See,
the?
I knew you were a closeted MAGA.
Yeah, like, hold on a second. We're having two separate conversations.
Yeah.
Me and a lot of other people who are sane are not saying, I love Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
I cried for Charlie Kirk. The people aren't, some people on the far right are saying that who really like them, but people who are like kind of in between this, nobody's saying that, right? They're saying, or I'm saying, this is a sad time for like democracy and America, right? That your words can get you killed and people can justify it by saying, you deserved it.
Yeah.
That is a very slippery slope, right? Because depending on who the person is, your words could get you killed too, right? So conversely, if somebody, let's say, I don't know, the opposite of Charlie Kirk, I don't know who is a huge leftist version of him, right? That good kid, Dean.
Dean
right?
Withers, yeah.
So
is that his name?
Lister, Dean Lister, Dean Withers, Dean Withers, Dean, long hair, blue-eyed kid, right? Very well spoken. He has debated Charlie Kirk multiple times, even to the point where Charlie Kirk said that Dean had made me think about a few things about myself.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking amazing. Which, by the way, that's how you should fight Charlie Kirk. Words with words. Dean did that, right?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about Dean. I don't know if I agree with anything he says or anything else. I'm just saying that they have had conversation. They use words with words. And Charlie Kirk has openly admitted that it got him to think a little bit. That's what you should do.
Yeah.
That is amazing, right? When you say, because this person has said X amount of things that offend me, that I don't believe in, that he should then die for it, and I'm okay with that, you might have to check yourself, right? Because now you have to see what happens to you.
Yeah.
This is a very scary, slippery slope because let's say Dean says something and Dean dies. Should the people on the far right who do that and they go, you know what? He deserved it as well. He was destroying America.
Yeah, he was a Marxist, like he was a kid, man. Like,
Yeah.
Same, like he was just a human being.
So I don't mourn Charlie Kirk in the sense of, as a person, I knew him.
Yeah.
I mourn the fact that this man died because he was doing his American thing of trying to create an America that he thought was a vision that he thought was correct, right?
Yeah, and if you didn't like that, you're free to do that too.
Exactly.
God damn.
Yeah. That's the American way.
Yeah.
You don't get to kill somebody for that. That's why I'm saying these are two separate things. And so there was a guy on Twitter, right? He's a fan. We kept it very cordial. And he says, you know, you reap what he's like, he cashed it. What was it? Something about a check. You cashed a check, you couldn't something. What's the phrase? I'm thinking about it right now.
Yeah. You couldn't cash a check, you couldn't deposit?
Some shit like that. Hey.
Well, you know what it is.
Yeah, very cool guy, whatever, whatnot, right? And he says that he doesn't believe in empathy. And then I had to look it up. That's not what he said. And I saw the whole clip. That's not what he said. People chopped it up. And like I said, I'm not a fan of Charlie Kirk, but I don't need to not be a fan of him and then make shit up.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's the other thing I don't like.
There's shit he said and there's shit he didn't say.
There's plenty of stuff that you could do here. You don't have to take the small context of that clip and not show the entirety of it, right? And just to see if I was like losing my mind, I put it in ChatGPT, right? And a few other like AI apps. It's like, what did Charlie Kirk mean by this? And they even AI agreed with my sentiment. It was like, no, he's saying that the word empathy has been morphed now to mean something else. So that's why he doesn't believe in empathy. He didn't say that empathy doesn't exist. Right? And so either way, so this kid's saying that you live and die by the sword or whatever, whatnot, right?
I think the most famous one was his talk where he compared it to cars, right? Which is like, but liberals use that analogy too.
Yeah.
You know, where he was saying that we live in a world of gun deaths, and that's something that I'm willing to accept for the Second Amendment.
Yeah.
Just the same way we as a nation accept 50,000 car deaths, right? In order for us to drive, commute, travel, freely. You know, look, if you want to use your words, then you say, okay, then let's register guns like we register cars.
Yeah.
Let's get a gun license like you have to get a driver's license, which means testing 90% of it, which is safety laws and such. Like all of these things. I don't have to get into that. The man's gone, you know.
Yeah.
Like, but you could have used your words in that way. But to say, look at that irony. It is a bit ironic, you know, it doesn't take away the irony.
I get it.
But then it's not a ha-ha irony to me. You
and
know?
also, too, is like the way that they're warping the Second Amendment, too. The Second Amendment doesn't give the right for you to murder somebody.
Yeah.
Like, that's like kind of the rhetoric. It's like, what are we doing here, right?
At the end of the day, he's arguing it's a just in case. It's an insurance amendment.
Yeah.
Like for a tyrannical government. Once again, use your words with the history of our, you know, governmental, you know, changes and which one is tyrannical.
Yeah. And so what I was telling to this kid, it was like, okay, so you said that this person doesn't deserve, if you do said action, certain things in your life that causes you to die, you do not deserve empathy. And it's a free-for-all for people to say whatever you want about you because you brought it upon yourself. And, you know, he's basically, he won't openly say it, but he's like, yeah, he deserved it. I was like, cool. And I saw his profile pic. I was like, you are fat. So, okay, that sounded fun. Okay, that sounded, hold on a second. I was like, you and I are both fat, right?
Yeah.
We eat ourselves to death every day. When we die, somebody at our funeral goes, you know what? You ate yourself to death every day. You made these personal choices. I have a free-for-all to say whatever I want about you. No nuance whatsoever. This fat fuck died because he didn't care about his life.
All right.
Your argument has to be consistent in every application. It can't just apply to the stuff that you care about. So you and I, because we're both fat, if we die from being fat, said heart attack, and our poor choices, we do not deserve empathy, number one. And second of all, people can say whatever they want because it's true.
Right.
But no, he goes, no, that's different because that's my personal body and what I do. No. Now you're diverting from what the things that I'm saying. Stay on topic. You made a claim that your personal choices, if it's negative or whatever, you get what you get. Yeah. Right? So when you die from your fucking fat heart attack and I go, you fat fuck, you fucking died because you made poor choices, you decided to eat yourself to death.
Long-term suicide, right?
I can do that.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, it doesn't affect other people. I was like, I disagree with that. It does affect other people.
Like when you have to get on a plane.
When I'm on Southwest and I have to get on a plane, I have to choose my seat and I see you sitting next to me, you're sticking next to me, fat boy. No, I'm kidding. But
fat people can make fat jokes, right?
That was like one of my biggest fears on a plane is like, dude, these people are going to hate me.
Right.
Yeah. So that's the other part too, is like there's no moral consistency here, right? Yeah. I don't think that person's a bad person, but I think this person just definitely hated Charlie Kirk. And then just to write what he wrote about the empathy thing. I didn't have to explain it to him, but I just looked it up. I was like, you're wrong. You saw a clip and then you just ended it there. I did the thing where I was like, let me see this whole thing in its entirety. Disproves what you said already, right? Yeah. And I'm not defending him, Charlie Kirk, per se. Like I said, I think he was somebody who was like a rebel rouser. Yeah. He stirred the pot unnecessarily for a lot of things. And just for the empathy part too, one of the things that I guess I didn't like about Charlie Kirk is that from the stuff that I've seen, and I watched a decent amount, not everything, right, is that when he puts out these points about, let's say, the black community, right, I don't think there is a concern for him, maybe because he's either fed up or he's trying to win the argument, where he doesn't speak empathetically, right? Where he doesn't bring out the positive stuff about the community and he only reflects and talks about the negative, about you got to do better, you got to fix this. Yeah. But he never speaks about it from a loving standpoint, which, by the way, would be very Christian-like of him.
Yeah, that's my main beef with him. Yeah. I hated him because of his hypocrisy. I don't, like, there's tons of people who say what he says, to be honest. But he says it professionally, you know. But what bothered me deep to my core was that hypocritical stance that you're marrying nationalism with Christianity. Yeah. I fucking hate that. Yeah. That's what I stand against. And people, okay, so what happened was I put a picture of his family saying, just reminding people, this man was a human being, you know. And then I got a DM with, like, he said this, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I know this. We know. We saw these things before. Like, it's not like he was a guy under the rock, like a fringe character. Yeah. This guy was the top fucking loud piece of this shit, you know? Like, next to Ben Shapiro. Yeah. So it's like if Ben Shapiro died and then we're like, oh my gosh, like he had a family and kids. Like in the same manner, I would say the same thing.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that I hate nearly everything he says.
Yeah.
Like that's where I look towards, liberals with. I even saw this therapist say, you might be feeling like a bad person right now because of your immediate response. And then this therapist is like, you're allowed to put a limit to your empathy and draw the line, right? And then people took that to, woo, I can be a piece of shit. Like, no, that's not what he said.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Like, this is like the reading comprehension of people is so fucking low. It's absolutely astounding, right? Yeah. You have taken the humanity out of everything, right? And you're only seeing sides. This person should die. This person should die. Do you have any idea how psychotic you sound? Like you are absolutely insane. If you are standing on this hill of said person can say something that they deserve to die, then we're all fucked here. Yeah. Because like I said, your rules have to apply all across the board, right? Yeah. And you do not want to go that route. What you should say is this. Charlie Kirk has said things that led to this point of him dying. Mm-hmm. He shouldn't have died for what he believed, but he is also responsible for the things that he says. Yeah. And it sucks that it happened this way, right? That has your sentiment, but it's not you with a pitchfork and fucking flames going, yeah, bring him down, bring these people down, kill them all. That's fucking insane. If you associate with people like that, then fucking run away, right? The people with common sense and human decency have to win. We have to, right? Because this is foreboding a very dark future for America. Very, very dark. And by the way, we talked about this. If you see somebody from the far left that gets assassinated, this is a psyop. I don't give a shit. Yeah. It is so blatantly a psyop, I don't even want to get into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's way too early to say another state is responsible for this. But Charlie had some recent change of heart on some issues. But yeah, it's way too soon to even get into that because they caught the guy. It's so weird, like, because there was that old guy all over social media. They got him and he says, kill me, kill me, kill me. But it wasn't him. But what's his deal anyway then?
Like
this fucking Patsy? What?
Yeah.
What's his deal? You let him go.
Yeah.
He distracted you. Well, I mean, he is charged with obstruction of justice. But
There's something off about that. What is that? Off. It doesn't make any sense.
And he witnessed 9/11 too. And then he was part of some other wild event that happened. Like he just happened to be there.
Yeah.
And he has a history of mental illness. It's like, what are the odds?
Yeah.
What are the odds?
I mean, so Charlie Kirk gets, I mean, I guess it almost feels stupid to explain what happened. I just feel like everybody knows.
Yeah.
But either way, Charlie Kirk was in Utah at a speaking event, right?
And he usually does things outdoors.
Yeah.
Because I think they felt that being indoors was actually more dangerous.
Yeah, dangerous, yeah. He had security, he had detail.
But also it's because 3,000 people showed up.
Yeah.
So even if I don't think he had an auditorium booked.
Yeah.
But that specific space anyway is designed for that the university set up, which is what most universities have those spaces.
Yeah. And so he's there, he's answering questions, doing all the stuff that he does, right? And he typically always asks questions to people who can't really, articulate their thoughts and stuff. I mean, conversely, when he went to Cambridge,
he got
roasted.
Yeah. So that's one of my beefs with him while he was alive. It's like, I don't want to say deceptive, but
cherry picking.
It's easy to do that for the youth. Look, I used to be in youth and college ministry, and then when I was working at USC campus at the restaurant, it was these Christians on campus trying to evangelize to me too.
Yeah.
So that's part of college life.
Yeah.
You're just going to find those.
So, it seems like he's cherry, but like on the other side too, nobody's forcing these kids to talk to him though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you got to take responsibility for that as well. Nobody's grabbing these kids by the wrist, bringing them up to the mic and going debate with Charlie Kirk.
A majority of them are Charlie Kirk fans.
Yeah.
So he's preaching to the choir. And then the other half aren't curious people.
Yeah.
They're people who hate him.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. It's like it's so extreme to both sides that even his core message isn't even reaching the important people who are going to ignore him anyway.
I really, you know what the funny thing is like the people who debate him, I almost hate you more because you're so fucking unprepared. You are literally feeding him everything he wanted, right?
Yeah.
To kind of prove his point. And it's just like, are you so fucking delusional that you think that you're going to go up against a man who has dedicated his whole life to this? Yeah. There are some stuff where he talks, it's like, how do you memorize all those numbers? You know? But that's how prepared he is on showing his point and his biases, right? You should do the same before you even grab that mic. Because what did you think was going to happen? At a public event, at these public events that's geared towards him, be prepared because you're not helping your movement at all. It's like the audacity of you to come up to a space, not know anything, even when all of the stuff he says is out there.
But that's also how Charlie Kirk content farms.
Yeah. Genius Brain listeners, this podcast is brought to you by BetterHelp. If you're thinking about your mental health this year, guess what? Now's the time with BetterHelp. BetterHelp has been a long-time sponsor of this podcast because I use it and it has been fantastic. BetterHelp therapists work according to a strict code of conduct and are fully licensed in the U.S. Therapists always match their commitment. BetterHelp does the initial matching work for you so you can focus on your therapy goals. A short questionnaire helps identify your needs and preferences, and their 10 plus years of experience in industry-leading match fulfillment rate means they typically get right the first time. If you aren't happy with your match, switch to a different therapist at any time from their tailored recs. Completely online, and you can pause your subscription whenever you need to and switch therapists anytime at no extra cost, which is such a godsend. Listen, guys, make this year about your mental health and do it with BetterHelp. I love them. You will too. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Find the one with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/genius. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/genius.
He's baiting those rage-baited kids to say something crazy to become his thumbnail.
Yeah.
Say Charlie Kirk destroys freshman, liberal student.
You know how you guys could have stopped Charlie Kirk from blowing up is to never show up at his events.
Yeah.
That's how you would have done it. Then he would have just been a person talking to his crowd.
Yes.
So you are also responsible for building Charlie Kirk's brand because you're so fucking dumb. You don't know you're stupid. You should have never showed up. And you should have let people who were smart go up. You should have stayed at home. He used you and you kept falling for the trap, even though it's blatantly right there. It blew my fucking mind.
Yeah, that's what happened to Kurt Schilling. Kurt Schilling, two-time World Series champ, like hard-nosed fucking pitcher, after retirement becomes a conservative, right? And major MAGA talking head, right? And then he had this huge rally for Donald Trump. No one showed up.
Yeah.
You know why? Because the people around him, even Trump supporters, were tired of his shit kind of thing, right? And so that's what happened. He just, immediately after that, he stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Isn't
that crazy how that works?
Yeah. Just by doing the opposite of listening in.
Because, and here's my example for that, right? It's like, there's literally hundreds of KKK Klan rallies that happen all the time, right? Mm-hmm. But it happens in their own world, right?
Yeah.
And they're preaching to their own choir. It's not being brought out to the masses. Nobody gives a shit about them, right? I'm not saying Charlie Kirk's KKK or whatnot. I don't know enough about him to see. From what I've seen, he's not racist. He's not racist.
I don't think I
don't think racist is the term that we're looking for.
Not in the sense of, hooded neo-Nazi kind of shit. But dog whistle stuff, the kind of shit where it toes the line. But for me, when it toes the line, it's racist. That's just it to me. It's black and white for me because of my experience. You know, look, the thing he said. Look, JD Vance, fucking took over his weekly show, which is weird, but
JD Vance took over his show.
Yeah, as a
the
guest
Turning
host.
Point or whatever. Or
Not Turning Point. Yeah, Turning Point. He did the guest weekly show, and on there he was saying,
"Aren't you the fucking vice president? What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah, I mean, beyond that, It's like, yeah, I'm like, this is so crazy. Because he did it from his desk too.
Don't you have better shit to do?
Yeah. And he was saying like Charlie Kirk never said this about black women. He didn't say black women are dumber and incompetent. Look at the clip. And then you go back and look at the clip. He's talking about, he names people, right? Names more than like 5 women, and they're all black. And you know what they're talking about? Affirmative action, right? And he's like saying, we all know you guys are too dumb to get into Harvard and too dumb to get into all of your schools. It's like, Charlie, you didn't go to college, you know? And he's saying this specifically about black women. But the argument, I looked even deeper at that clip. It's because he's reacting to another video of a U.S. representative or senator, a black woman saying, yes, I wouldn't have been able to go to, I think, Harvard or some Ivy League school without affirmative action. But I graduated, on my own. There's no way affirmative action helped her graduate, kind of thing, right? And that's another thing. I hate the way people look at affirmative action, like, especially when it comes to school admissions.
Yeah.
Affirmative action was the schools investing millions into recruiting black students, actually, because they might not have never even heard of such schools or application processes. But then however they do it, it's kind of weird, but it's like they got scouting reports of certain students out across the nation who are black that aren't getting any opportunity or chance to apply. That's what it did. That's what happened for Joy Reid. That was her story. But yeah, once she got there, it's their responsibility to pass and graduate.
Yes.
That's
like the other confusing part too, right? So you get your foot through the door, right? You still have to go to class. You still have to get the grades. You're not getting the grades just because you're black, right? So yeah, you got your foot through the door, and now you have to work. If they were so said stupid and dumb, they wouldn't have been able to graduate.
Yeah, and so at the end of the day, to me that shit was racist. Is he a racist? I don't know. Like, does he? Because I saw that clip. But because I'm not like tuning into Charlie Kirk, and I made sure my algorithm didn't show that kind of shit.
Yeah.
I don't know what he consistently said about black people outside of the typical Republican talking points.
Yeah.
Which are, to me, personally, subjectively, racist.
Yeah.
They're dog whistles.
Yeah. But see, you didn't call him outwardly racist, so you love him, dude. So shut up.
Yeah.
But see, this is what people are going to take from this.
Too, yeah.
Right? Like, as you're discussing these things and
that there's no nuance to a human being.
Yeah. You speak in nuance, and you can go ahead and look at the whole data of what you've researched and seen about this person, and you speak about from personal experience. You talk about the nuance within it, but you're not saying Charlie Kirk deserves to die, so you like him. This is what happens, right? Even as we're having this discussion right here, immediately I go, because you didn't say that, guess what? You want to fuck him?
I know.
That's what that's the hate that you guys have been absorbing so much, that you need definitive markers to align with what you believe in. If it's not said that way, you're the fucking enemy.
Hey, you want some candy? What are you, gay?
Yeah. It's like that line.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
It's so stupid and intellectually insecure.
So why can't people such as us, but there's a lot of us, right? We obviously don't have the loudest fucking voice because we're not fear-mongering. We're not diving into the far left, far right. Why can't we say, as I said it earlier in the podcast, I did not agree with a lot of the things that Charlie Kirk did, right? And we could sit here and break down every single video of what we disagree with him, all that stuff, right? But how come I can't say that and also say he shouldn't have died for what he did, and him being murdered in front of his children was wrong?
Yeah.
Right? It is not American to kill somebody for speaking for what they believe. You battle words with words, and it was working too.
Yeah.
Maybe not in the way that you guys wanted to see, where it's this dramatic change where Charlie Kirk flips over to the left. It's not that.
Yeah, but like, look at the guy who sat down with Gavin Newsom. Look at the guy who sat down with Bill Maher and the conversations that he had with them.
Yeah.
you know? But then because it's Charlie Kirk, even Gavin Newsom fans would skip that episode.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, because the association makes you guilty.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's just such a terrible time for free thought and free speech, in my personal opinion, right? And also too, like I've also seen clips, just to give the guy a little credit, where there was a Christian kid, very Christian extremist, saying that I guess he felt like Charlie Kirk was platforming gay people. Like, you shouldn't talk to gay people if you're Christian, blah, blah, blah. And then Charlie Kirk was like, hold on, no. It's like, you don't do that. It's like, this is America. People can exist.
Yeah.
It's like, they can exist in this country and live a life of happiness, and it's not my business. That's the most un-American, un-Christian thing. And Charlie Kirk defended.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there are moments where he has these points, in my personal opinion, that show that he's somewhat of a decent person, you know, where I feel that, once again, he is somebody that is fighting for an America that he believes is good for everybody.
Yeah.
Whether we agree or disagree is where we can do that in discussion,
Yeah.
right? And when we feel that discussion leads to death, we're all fucked. That's what I mourn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I can also feel bad for his children who had to witness that.
Well, then, dude, there was a lot of people calling for civil war, man.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Oh, and first sec, okay, I wanted to bring this up. What's going on with the neo-Nazis? What the fuck are you? The shooter was white.
Not just neo-Nazis, just a lot of the conservative side, right? It was like, it has to be a black communist or something.
Like, white power. White. He was white. The guy who shot him was white.
The guy who shot him grew up in a home prototypical to what Charlie Kirk advocates for. That's how he grew up.
Yeah.
With gun training at a young age.
Yeah.
Firearm training at a young age. All of that. Grew up in a Mormon home. I mean, but dude, Mormons as like the nuclear family, they got it together at the most. You know, that's Glenn Beck. you know why he's a Mormon?
Why?
He said he and his wife sat down after they got married and it's like, all right, so here's the religions. Let's see who was pick one, right? And then they said, okay, Protestants are like, they looked at the families, they looked at Catholics, and then he said he looked at Mormons and they were like, dude,
these are nice
that's
people.
the life. Yeah, that's what he chose Mormons.
Get the fuck out of here, dude.
You know?
That's fucking wild.
Yeah.
That's fucking wild to me, man.
I mean, maybe that's how half the people in this country choose.
It's like the funniest thing when I saw like clips of after Charlie Kirk passed or he was assassinated or murdered, of these like white neo-Nazis going, white power, white power. I was like,
I don't even think Charlie Kirk was on your side.
Charlie Kirk didn't like you either, fool.
Yeah.
Like, what you talking about, dude? Like, you're chanting as if he was a part of your movement, and he wasn't.
Yeah, not saying he was like a centrist by any means.
Yeah.
No.
But he definitely wasn't on that side.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he's friends with Candace Owens. Candace Owens looks like a black person from the 1960s. That's about as black as you get.
Yeah, and Candace Owens is pissed. She's pissed right now. And she's intimating like she knows things that other people don't, particularly speaking about Charlie Kirk changing his views on certain things. I don't know. Why are we hiding about it? He's talking about Israel.
Yeah.
You know? He started to see, like, because he saw for his own self the apartheid state.
Yeah.
That apparently, hey, even he's against.
Yeah.
He's against segregation, guys.
Yeah.
Right? Yes, he still says these dog whistle things, but then he thought that was horrible.
Yeah.
You know, and then the state of what was happening in Gaza, he was changing his views on that.
And by the way, I'm only assuming is that I feel like that little switch started happening because of the debates that he was having with people, right? Because he was having conversations with people outside of his echo chamber when he went to Cambridge, and having these deep discussions with people where he has to kind of like back his own things. Then he has to go back because he wants to win an argument. He has to do research.
Yeah.
And then he starts finding out things. That is what conversation does.
I think, I give credit to Charlie is his evolution. Because a lot of the bullshit stuff he says, I think came before his actual conversion, quote unquote.
Yeah.
I think he got saved like by the time he got married.
Yeah.
Which was the last 3 years or something, right? He was a typical grew up in a Christian home kind of Christian. This is Christian culture, but I don't think he got actually saved-ish and understood theology in the sense and spoke on it until the last 3 years. But I also believe it was because of, now this might be unconfirmed, but being like the Republican RNC or something, they're saying, hey, tone down that rhetoric because we're associated with you, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, yes, I have to give him credit for a point where he came to a change, but I also haven't seen him repent.
Yeah.
You know, and apologize for the stuff in the past. But considering the actions today, it's like, I think it's important that you do.
Yeah.
You know?
Like him passing, I feel like it should be a wake-up call for America to be like, we are all getting out of control, right?
Yeah. Sean Strickland is looking for Jesus now.
Dude, you got Sean Strickland looking for Jesus, we are fucked. Like Sean Strickland.
Dude, Sean Strickland had a come to Jesus moment on Instagram. And you're like, this is so crazy.
This shouldn't be a moment for us to be like, oh, this country is over. It should be like, hey, we have a lot of work to do. And we are like, as a nation, like we have to come together. This sounds so corny. We have to come together as a nation. But really we do, right? We do. This should be a sobering moment of like, okay, our ideologies have gotten us to a point where we hate each other, where we don't want what's best for our neighbors. We don't want what's best for our friends and families. We just want what's best for us. And when you go down that path, nobody fucking wins, right?
Yeah.
So now the people who are logical, the people who want the best for everybody here, we need to come together and then become the major voice, right? Because right now, the extremists on both sides are the ones that are controlling everything. And yeah, it's been like that for a very long time, but I feel in the life that I've lived that this is the worst it's ever been.
Yeah.
You know? And I think that's the part that's frightening for me. I just want people to understand that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want people to keep going down this route of, if you don't believe everything that I believe, you're my enemy. I hate you. Get the fuck away from me. You deserve to die.
Yeah.
That is the craziest sentiment that people are having. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah, I have a friend who doesn't believe in paying taxes.
Oh, right?
Specifically, he believes that millionaires and billionaires shouldn't because they're privileged, you know, because they're better, smarter people than everyone else.
What the fuck are you talking?
This person really believes that. He's still my friend. You know, I'll make a point like, I hope your house doesn't burn down because, you know, our tax dollars are going to call the fire department, all of that. You drive the roads, bro.
Yeah.
But, you know, that kind of stuff, like, he's still my friend. Like, I get that like, it's kind of weird that you.
Well, your friend should probably advocate for tax reform.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah, you know, tax money is still being used for us, just not very well. You know,
right.
So you're asking for tax reform, maybe not to get rid of all taxes. Maybe
no, like favorable towards the business makers.
Is he a billionaire or something? Or,
yeah, he's towards there.
Oh, that's why you fucking tard.
That's his goal. Obviously, he's a major libertarian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody assassinate him. Just kidding.
But see, come on.
I'm kidding. I can still make a joke out of anything. Yeah. I'm so sorry.
But
do you see how ridiculous it sounds?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it actually happened. That's the crazy part. Like these things that used to be jokes and to us is unprecedented, but the boomers all remember their youth. Mm-hmm. And they talk about the 60s.
And you know, with like young people too, what's wrong with y'all? Like you go like super young people who are radicalized is like, you boomers. You know, we were once your age too. We're just you with more experience. That's all. Like we were once your age too. And you will eventually, hopefully come to this side where you're just like, okay, let's look at things. Let's take a step back before I start raging out and feeling angry. Let me feel what I feel and then take a step back.
Yeah, like there's a number of your followers who believe we're racist.
Great. I fucking love it. It's just the wildest thing ever. But, you know, every time I talk to like a radicalized young person or I meet them, dude, it's just like, dude, you are filled with so much hate over stuff that has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
Right? And it's just like you live and wallow in this hate. And now it's even worse, like I said, because of social media, right? The Instagram, TikTok, Facebook does not give a shit about your feelings and they don't give a shit about facts, right?
Yeah.
They just feed you whatever you're going to click on the most to make the most money. You are the hoe. They are the pimp. And you are literally shaking ass and making money for daddy. You're a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
And once you realize that shit, now you can watch social media from a different lens, right? You watch it for entertainment. You disassociate it from reality, right? And the things that you do find real, you can go ahead and research and then be a part of the stuff that you want to be a part of. But right now, you're letting it mold every thought, every action, whether it's political or personal. This thing controls you. How do you not understand that still?
Yeah.
Why do you want to live your life as a bitch? Fuck, man.
And using it towards your confirmation bias. You know, you really have to have a lot of self-control over such things, you know, because shit happened to me at my gas station and there's a video on my Instagram and I recorded everything. For 4 years, I kept posting all the bullshit that was happening to me, you know. But when I got back to LA, I realized that a lot of these liberal people here were that kind of racism or like physical attacks or even the gall of some of the shit people say, you know, that doesn't happen in LA, you know? And so that a lot of these liberal people in LA were using my experience as their confirmation bias as white people are racist. All white people are racist. See,
Yeah.
look what's happening to my friend, you know, because my shit was extreme. But the thing is, my case is unique to me. It didn't happen to you.
Yeah.
Right. And we've spoke on this multiple times, vicarious PTSD, because you saw some shit on social media and you act like and you are affected by it the way as if it happened to you.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't.
Yeah.
You know, and so when you see Charlie's death, you really have to take a deep look at your initial reaction the way Sean Strickland did.
Yeah.
Said, oh my God. But he said, when did we become sociopaths? That's you. When did you become a sociopath? Look inward.
Yeah.
You're this close, but yes, look inward.
He had a sobering moment.
Yeah.
Right? Which I feel like if Sean Strickland can have a sobering moment, you can
can
too. And by the way, if you relate to the previous version of Sean Strickland, you're fucking nuts. If you're
Hell yeah.
if you're sitting there and you're watching this man and you sat in that seat, it's like, this guy is a problem. All right. And then you go home and you say the things that the previous version is like, wait, you are him.
Yeah.
You can't even realize that you're the crazy person.
Yeah.
It's so insane. Where are the people out there to let the crazy people know that they're going a little too far, right? Feel what you feel. I understand that. You can always feel what you feel. I never say no. Feel what you feel, but then also assess what you feel too,
Yeah.
right? Nobody gets to that second part. It's the assessment part, right? Where when something happens, you're angry, you're sad, you're emotional. Where's the point where you step back and you go, let me assess what happened here, why I feel the way that I feel, and what are the steps that I can do after? People always stay in phase one, and it's just a shitty place to be, right? Because it's so volatile. Emotions are so volatile, and to stew in that every day, it just becomes worse and worse and worse. I know, I'm speaking from personal experience. I too was once in my 20s. You know what I mean? I too was right there.
Yeah.
My insanity didn't last as long as most people's, right? But there were moments where I was just like, okay, I'm sitting here angry. Why?
Yeah.
What am I doing, right? What am I angry about? I don't even have the facts about everything. I just keep clicking on things that confirm my bias all the time. Once I stop doing that, I gain more empathy. I stop being as mad. And number three, it also strengthened my own personal beliefs, right?
Yeah.
But from a better point of view, right? Where now I could have discussions with people and we don't have to yell at each other and we don't have to shout, right? And I think like that's just kind of like my wish for everybody, right? Is just to be there.
Yeah. Yeah. I we I fear that once again, if the word is pragmatic, is that what we're going for? This I want to say like something like behavioral health. The way you're going to process these things, it starts deep down with, your reaction towards, justifying the death of another human being in this manner. The guy
That didn't kill
wasn't-
somebody else. That
Yeah.
wasn't a murder. Wasn't. And
He wasn't Hitler.
yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't a murderer. He wasn't responsible for people's deaths. He said some wild shit. Yeah. After other shootings, he said some wild shit. But you have to ask yourself then, if that gave you a green light to be a piece of shit, maybe you're a piece of shit.
Yeah. It's a reflection upon you as a person, right? And also, too, just to kind of maybe wrap it up and end it on this, you don't fight wrong with wrong, right? You don't, if you knew that he was in the wrong, why do you become that person?
Yeah.
Right? When has that ever worked? It has never, ever fucking worked. You don't spill out hate and then correct it with more fucking hate. Because number one, what you do is you prove the other side right, that you're a terrible person, right? It doesn't work that way. If it did, then it would have been a solution for everything. An eye for an eye makes the world go blind. That is something that I still believe till this day, right? My father told me this too. He goes, listen, when you see other people do bad things, it shouldn't change the fact that you still do the right thing, right?
Yeah.
Everything has its time and place. You can live with the fact that you were in the right? And you have to live in that. And you have to believe in that. So you could have your own sanity,
Yeah.
right? People don't believe in that anymore. They think that if you do wrong, then I'll just do you wrong and guess what? You deserved it. But then what happens? The other person will wrong you. It just goes back and forth, back and forth.
This is the case of this shooter. Ultimate nihilism. The depths of the internet that he was in, like, dude, the shit he wrote on the shell casing.
Let me tell you something. I shouldn't have laughed.
I shouldn't have laughed.
But I laughed so hard.
But that's why I'm saying, Gen Z, you guys are so nihilistic.
Yeah.
You guys don't give a fuck.
If you're reading
To
this,
the
you're
point.
gay.
Yeah.
That was on one of the shell casings.
You meme everything.
Listen. You motherfucker.
You
How
motherfucker.
dare you make me laugh?
And I can't believe the fucking FBI read it. You shouldn't have given that glory to him, man.
Hey, that's an example of a boomer right there, dude.
Oh,
He's reading
so
it so
stupid.
seriously. It's like there's these cryptic messages. If you're reading this, you're gay. LMAO. Shut the fuck up, dude.
Can you imagine if they actually hid that one just to not give him that?
Yeah.
And then 50 years later, the fucking Charlie Kirk files are released and the redacted thing is the bullet that says, if you read this, you're gay. I think it would have been much fresher, like, not fresher, but like, in 50 years, can you believe that shit?
In 50 years, I would have died laughing. I would have been assassinated laughing, dude.
Oh, God.
That would have been crazy, dude.
That guy is going to face a death penalty because they're doing it by state.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And by the way, Kash Patel apparently
Val.
is fucking up the investigation by all the stupid bullshit he keeps saying.
Yeah, he's saying a lot of like non-facts.
Yeah.
Which is, what are you doing, man?
So a lot of defense attorneys are like, yo, this guy might get away with this.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Shut up, dude.
I'll see you in Valhalla.
Even Republicans are like saying, dude, fire Kash Patel.
Yeah.
He's clearly not prepared for this.
Yeah.
Like,
I already didn't like him when he did the Joe Rogan interview, and he was
Yeah.
like, you remember when we talked about it? He was like, if there was something there with the Epstein stuff, I would know. What are we, dumb? Shut the fuck up. You should have never went on the podcast, you dumbass.
he was a podcaster before he became FBI director.
Oh, well, there it is.
Right? And he's speaking just exactly the way Joe Rogan was about the FBI. But now he seems to be a walking, talking shill for whatever his deep state is.
Dude, I'm so over it, man. Like, listen, people, just I hope you guys are fighting for a world where you guys can have a discussion with somebody and fight for the things that you believe without going into violence, right? Which is very possible here. And I think I've given you guys, or we've given you guys, clear examples of how discussion works. And it may not happen overnight, but it's not supposed to, right? People need time to think and process. And when you keep having these conversations, change does happen. And we even seen in this man that you hate.
Yeah.
Maybe not in the way that you wanted, but his positions have changed on a few things. And we have seen some goodness in him. So look, I don't know. Like if you don't feel like that's the proper way to deal with things, then I then get the fuck off this channel. Like,
Yeah. I think, you know, if you expected us to say either one way, like far right, far left, it's like, man, the way he died, we weren't supposed to see that.
yeah.
This is why.
Motherfucker made me call my therapist again. I haven't talked to my therapist in like fucking 4 years, dude. I was like, hey, yo, not that the world was spinning, but it's like, dude,
You feel sick.
Yeah, I feel sick.
Psychologically, just hit you physically. You know, like this is why North Korea and Iran and Saudi Arabia do public executions. It's effective in the way, you know, it changes society.
Yeah.
You know, and so I hope us as a nation, or even the whole world, you know, because the whole world is speaking on this.
Yeah.
Like,
You know, as an American too, we can't keep saying to ourselves like we are the beacon and the example of what a first world nation should be. Look at this.
dude, there were like marches for Charlie in Korea.
What?
Yeah. We are Charlie Kirk. We are Charlie Kirk.
It's like, dude, that doesn't even make sense at all.
Yeah, it was just, you know, the state of manhood in Korea right now is also, yeah, they're going through it too.
Well, guys, that wraps up this episode of the Genius Brain podcast. I don't even know if I care to leave the comments open on this one, but I will. Keep it respectful. If not, I'll just block you and move on. Discussion is okay, but don't attack people. Thank you very much. We'll see you all next time. Genius Brain every Sundays at 12 p.m. Peace.